Good afternoon, and welcome back to the Yes Functional Longevity Podcast. We give you insight on how to get fit, feel younger, and live better. My name is Chris Border, best-selling author and owner of Y.E.S Fitness. And I first, as always, would like to thank you for taking time from your busy day to listen to what I have to say. I got a very interesting study for you today, one that I think everyone can relate to. But before we get started, just a little bit of housekeeping. You can get our broadcast anywhere where you listen to your podcast. And if you're ever looking for any show notes or transcript, you can head on over to yesfitnessct.com. Scroll to the bottom where you see podcast and click on that, and you can see any one of our 227 broadcasts over the past few years. A little bit more housekeeping. We are, for those clients who are listening, we are open for our normally scheduled sessions this whole weekend. We're open Saturday and back open on Monday. Let's kick this year off right. Let's get right back to the facility and get moving again. The coaching center is typically a little bit quieter this week as it was today. Family in town, or they've traveled, or they're just taking a break. So let's see if we can't get back at it quickly, because it's easy to get out of the habit of not exercising. But we all know, those who do exercise and move, that we always feel a little bit better when we do. So what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about, for anyone who might be curious, how every huff and puff could prolong your life. And when I say huff and puff, I don't mean smoking a cigarette. I'm talking about activity. And I'm always out there looking for ways to help you improve your health when you maybe can't get to a gym. Not everybody likes going to a gym. Not everybody has access to a gym, or has access to equipment, or likes to play sports, or maybe they really can't move that much. But I think this is one that's very interesting today. And for those people who don't get to the gym, or against the exercise in the sense of exercise, don't like exercise, it might be 1 minute burst of activity during your daily task could improve your life, could improve how long you live. And this, excuse me, just getting over a cough. This research is extremely interesting because it finds just 3 to 4 1 minute bursts of huffing and puffing, getting out of breath during daily tasks is associated with large reductions in the risk of premature deaths, particularly from cardiovascular disease. Just again, 3 or 4 1 minute bursts of huffing and puffing. That could be like, going up the stairs instead of the escalator, right? That could be like picking up the walk, heading up a hill. It doesn't have to be a lot to improve your health. And in a study, it was led by the University of Sydney's Charles Perkins Center in Australia. And it was recently published in Nature Medicine. And it is the first to accurately measure the health benefits of what researchers have termed vigorous intermittent lifestyle physical activity, VILPA. And I'll say VILPA for the rest of this broadcast, but it's vigorous intermittent lifestyle physical activity. And what it is, it's very short bouts of vigorous activity, up to 1 to 2 minutes. And we do high energy each day. It's like maybe you're walking and you burst into a little bit of a run. Maybe it's like you're running for the bus, okay? Or you're just running from your mailbox back into the house. Or maybe it's a burst while you're doing your power walking or running an errand, or in our case here, the field is at the top of the hill. So maybe it's just walking up that hill a little bit faster. It doesn't have to necessarily be structured exercise. And although I love exercise, and I think everyone should be exercising to not only improve their chances for a longer, healthier life, I want you to be able to enjoy that. These are maybe for those people who just want to make small changes in their lifestyles to improve the chance for a prolonged life. So the researchers found that just 3 to 4 1-minute bouts of VILPA every day is associated with up to 40% reduction in all cause and cancer-related mortality. I'm going to say that again because this is just mind-boggling that it takes such a little bit to make such a profound change in your life. 3 to 4 1-minute bouts of VILPA every day is associated with up to 40% reduction in all cause and cancer-related mortality, and up to a 49% reduction in death related to cardiovascular disease. That's amazing. There have been other studies showing similar benefits to high-intensity interval training. Can be achieved through an increasing the intensity of incidental activities done as part of daily living, and the more the better. These are the words of the lead author of that study, Emmanuel Stamatakaitis. I probably didn't say that correctly, but he's probably not listening. I apologize if I did butcher that name, but he's a professor of physical activity, lifestyle, and population health at the University of Sydney's Charles Perkins Center. He's been a big part of all these kind of studies, and he's found is a very few short bouts totaling 3 to 4 minutes. Excuse me. Hopefully I could get through this today. Very short bouts totaling 3 to 4 minutes a day could go a long way. And there are many daily activities that can be tweaked to raise your heart rate for a minute or so. Like I said, just moving a little bit faster to catch the bus, walking a little bit faster to go to your car, taking those stairs rather than the escalator. What we know is that the majority of adults age 40 and over do not partake in regular exercise or play, any kind of sport. In a recent study, a report found that 25% of adults are considered physically inactive. 25%. And physical inactivity can contribute to serious health conditions like heart disease, type 2 diabetes, cancer, obesity. We know this, right? And a new government study estimates that nearly 80% of adult Americans do not get the recommended amounts of exercise each week. And we've talked about this before, potentially setting themselves up for years of health problems. The research of Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, analyzed survey data collected from more than 450,000 U.S. adults ages 18 and older who were randomly phoned across all 50 states. They're asked how often they engaged in aerobic physical activity outside of their jobs and for how long. And it's just amazing that 80% of Americans don't get it. And the U.S. government recommends adults get at least 2.5 hours of moderate intensity aerobic activity each week, or an hour and 15 minutes of vigorous intensity activity. And adults should also engage in muscular strength training activities like lifting weights and doing push-ups and things like that twice a week. But what's interesting is that this study is saying you don't need to do that much. And that this study can help overcome some of those barriers of exercise and the time factor that people say that they always need. What researchers are saying is that this study reveals how incidental physical activity can overcome all these different barriers. Just upping the intensity of daily activities requires no time commitment, no preparation, no gym, no memberships, no equipment, no physical skills. It simply involves stepping up the pace while walking or doing household with a bit more energy. Is not my health today, but can prolong your life. Excuse me. So what did they discover about exercise as part of your daily life? About 89% of all participants did some VILPA, vigorous intermittent lifestyle physical activity. And among those who did the VILPA, 93% of all VILPA bouts lasted up to 1 minute. So it's not very long. On average, each day, participants did 8 VILPA bouts for up to 1 minute, totaling 6 minutes a day. Everybody has 6 minutes a day to improve their health. On average, each VILPA bout lasted about 45 seconds. This is what's interesting to hear right here, okay? This is for the steepest gains were seen when comparing those with around 4 to 5 bouts per day to those with no VILPA. So simply 4 or 5 times a day, it was gains. And the largest benefits were found with large VILPA amounts, suggesting the more is better. I think in this case, more would be better. The maximum of 11 bouts per day was associated with 65% reduction in cardiovascular disease, 49% reduction in cancer-related deaths compared to no VILPA. Interestingly, a comparative analysis of the vigorous activity of 62,000 people who regularly engage in exercise found comparable results. Now, what this implies is that whether the vigorous activity is done as part of a structured exercise or household work did not compromise the health benefits. Excuse me. Obviously, I'm a little coughing fit here today, so I'm going to cut this short just a little bit, okay, on how they perform the activity, the function, and things like that. One to keep in mind is that the studies are observational, meaning that they cannot directly establish cause and effect. However, the researchers took rigorous statistical measures to maximize the possibility that results are explained by the difference in health and status between participants. What these findings do is they demonstrate just how valuable detailed and objective measurements of physical activity can be when collected on a large scale population. I'm going to leave it right there for today since I do seem to be having the ends of a cold here and still coughing quite a bit. I thank you for bearing with me. But my point here today is that time is not an excuse for improving your health. Memberships, gyms, knowing what to do, access to equipment, none of that can be used as an excuse for improving your health. Improving your health will bring down health care costs and prolong your life. So even if you don't have access to anything, just 4 or 5 1-minute bouts. At the end of those bouts, 45-second bouts, you're huffing, puffing. It can make a difference in your longevity. And for those of you who are moving, keep moving. We always say motion is lotion. Pick it up a little bit. Pick up the intensity. We always like to use the word intensity over just long length of time. Work hard, get it done, and be done with it for the day. So again, I apologize for coughing. I want to thank you for listening for me today. I'm hoping everyone is enjoying their holiday season. And I look forward to speaking with you again next Tuesday, where I'm going to give you more insight on how to get fit, feel younger, and live better. Thanks for watching.